Hi folks, Joblot Comics here, and we're having another look at a lost comic book run from the Bronze Age of DC, and this is a really weird one, but this is Prez, issue number 1. I think there was only 4 issues in this run here, and as you can see, it's the first teen president of the USA, and there's a kind of natty cover. There we go. It looks a little bit Silver Age to me, but of course it's 1973. And let me get you to the credits here. There's the indicia. And there's a little bit of background here. So this is the story of the most powerful man on earth. He's not a superhero, but a teenager who becomes the president of the USA. It's not a true story, not yet, but someday it may happen, and the history books of the future may read like this story of Prez. So it's by Joe Simon and Jerry Grandinetti, and old-time comic book fans will know those names very, very well. And it's just, this is probably the weirdest comic that you've ever seen from the 70s, and there was a lot of weird stuff out in the 70s. But here's a flick through this, and you can have a look at it and see what you think. What I will say that when I was young in the UK and picking this up, I had no idea what was going on. So there you have it, folks. That's the first issue of Prez. A really weird 70s book. Looking back at it now, it's obviously way ahead of its time, and it was very satirical, and it was very knowing, and lots of winks to the reader as you're going through this, and probably especially if you're an American, to the point where the characters even break the fourth wall at the end, and by announcing that they seem to know they're in this comic book, yeah. But it didn't do well. It was a shame. I think there was just 4 issues of it. I actually do have all 4 issues. And again, it was all very satirical, all very clever, and probably just, just too ahead of its time. And 4 issues, that was it done. I think it did get a revival, but I wouldn't bother with that. If you're interested, you can get these really, really cheap. There's only 4 of them, so you can get the collection, a 70s Bronze Age collection, probably off eBay, really, really cheaply. And it's a great read. It does kind of remind me of the Silver Age comics, and it reminds me a bit of Kirby, a bit of Dick Cohen there. Anyway, it's probably one for connoisseurs, so if you fancy picking up Prez, why don't you give it a go? And if you did like this video, why don't you subscribe to this channel? I wish someone would.